Hello everyone and welcome to the next tutorial here on the Ducttapestuff channel. Over the years I've tried to incorporate tutorials into the channel that can directly apply to girls. Like in the past I've made a purse and a women's wallet and stuff like that, but I really don't incorporate them as often as I would like. So today we're actually going to make something that directly relates to girls and that you girls can use out there that you're watching this video. So in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a duct tape makeup compact. So pretty much that's what we're going to be doing. So let's get started here on this tutorial. Okay, so for this tutorial we're actually going to be using a small mirror that looks just like this. Now it's about the same size as, well, let's see here, it's about 2 inches wide and about 2.5 inches high. You can get these at your dollar store. Some dollar stores might have them, as well as your local Walmart might carry a compact or something that you can pop the mirror out of and use it from there. And I'm using pretty much just a small little makeup container that's obviously it's circular. And if you'll notice that the container is just roughly about the same size as the square mirror here, so that's going to be an added bonus. It'll make it a little bit easier when we make our duct tape makeup compact. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to cut out 2 strips of tape that are about a ½ inch longer than the mirror here on both sides, so it's really 1 inch longer total. I'm actually going to flip the mirror over here, and I'm going to apply it so that there's a ½ inch sticking out on each side. So there's a ½ inch on the right, ½ inch on the left, and a ½ inch on the top. And I'll show you exactly why you're doing this in a few seconds. Here, let me try that again. It doesn't have to be exact, but you do want to make sure you have a decent amount of tape that does curl around it. And I'll show you why we're doing that in a second. You're going to take your second piece, you're going to need 2 of them, and you're going to just put it right on top, but also you're going to have to make sure that the bottom folds over about ½ inch. So you're going to stick that down just like that. And you're going to flip the whole thing over, and this is what you should end up with eventually. So you've got, you know, about a ½ inch of tape all the way around, just like that, kind of like a picture frame, and you've got the mirror just sitting right in there. So that's our first step. Okay, so for the next step, I just cut out a 3-inch strip here and cut it in half, and basically this is the length of the bottom here, 3 inches. So we're going to take this piece, we're going to overlap just a little bit on top of the mirror, just like this, kind of like we're framing the mirror. And obviously you want to line up the sides, so you've got that stuck down. If you do get any that overlaps on the back here, you can just take that and fold it right back around like this, just to make sure it doesn't add to the length or the width of the thing that you're making here. So you've got that part sealed on. Now since it's 3 inches on the top and on the bottom, I think it might actually be 3 inches on the side. Now it's a little more than 3 inches, but I didn't actually make it a perfect square when I put it on, but that's okay. So we're going to do the exact same thing on the top here. Just overlap by a little bit there, making sure the sides are lined up, and once again flipping it over like this for that excess piece that sticks around like that. So your next step, what you're going to do is just cut out another strip of tape that's the size of the height here, because remember it's going to go like this, and you're going to apply those exactly the same way, so we're just going to completely frame the mirror in there with more strips of tape. So do that step now. So this is what it's going to look like when you have the mirror all sealed up. Now, but since you have that mirror sealed up on all 4 sides, obviously the mirror can't go anywhere. And I think that looks pretty cool with the Baroque duct tape just all stuck around there. But Baroque was definitely a good choice for this tutorial. So basically, we're going to take our makeup here, or whatever you're using, you know, eyeshadow, makeup, anything that's kind of in this just shape will work. And you'll notice I cut out a couple strips that are 2.5 inches long, and that is just slightly longer than the circular makeup container on both sides. So I cut out 4 of these strips, and I'm actually going to make it the same dimensions as this piece over here. So I'm going to take these 4 strips, I'm going to stick it down, lining up the bottom here. And bear in mind, you might have to tweak these measurements just a little bit depending on, you know, what size mirror you're making and what size what size compact you're trying to make. So just bear in mind when you are making this, you might have to tweak the adjustments a little bit for the measurements. So we take our 4 strips here, and we're basically just making a duplicate sheet of this one over here. So we've got that there. Next thing we're going to do is make a small pocket for this to slip into, and then we will connect them and then put a little bit of Velcro on there for it to attach, and we'll have our duct tape makeup compact case. So stay tuned, and that'll be our next step there, putting in a pocket. Alright, so to make a little pocket for this thing here, I just cut out two small strips of tape, and then just cut out a little spot for where the thing is going to sit, so you can kind of see it in there. So once we have that piece, you can just put it down here. I know it's going to be a little bit hard to see because obviously it's all Baroque, so it's kind of just going to blend in there. But I have a small piece on the bottom here, which is going to attach it, and then obviously just flip it around, fold it back down the back. So you have that piece there, just like that. And then these two pieces are obviously just going to connect this small pocket on the sides. So wrap that around the back. I got a request a while back to use the Baroque duct tape in a decently sized tutorial, and I think that this tutorial worked out really well with the Baroque duct tape because it looks really cool when you actually all start sticking it all together. And obviously it's going to look really cool when we have all this together. So we're going to take our makeup spot here, it's going to slide it right in there. The next thing we're going to do is actually connect it all, and then we'll put a little Velcro on it to make sure it stays closed. So that'll be our next step. Okay, so now we're basically just going to attach it together. So I want it to flip open like this eventually when I have the whole thing created. So I'm going to flip this over, and you'll notice that there's a little bit of difference in the side length there, but that's okay because that's just the way I made it. But if you want to make it exactly the same length, you can just modify your measurements a little bit to make sure that it stays the same. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the whole thing over like this. Make sure that it's lined up, and you can overlap a little bit just depending on how you want it to fold. So we're going to take our strip here, stick it down just like this on the back. Make sure you do get a decent amount of tape on there so that it'll get stuck down nice and good. And then obviously you have that stuck down here. Obviously, it doesn't come to the end here, but if you wanted to, you could just make it a little bit longer, and it would just come right to the end. So now basically what I want to do is use some Velcro to attach it, so I'm going to do that next. So to connect it, I just painted this little strip here to suck it together and add a little bit of the sticky side showing here. Obviously it flips open just like this. So we're just going to take the compact here. I'm going to line up that sticky side with the back. And you do have a few options of making sure it stays closed. This is obviously just one of them. And obviously I have my two little sticky circles over here. I did do a video on how to use Velcro to actually stick your designs closed and everything. And someone did mention that you can actually stick the two together and then stick them on, and then that way it'll line up perfectly when you do it. I did totally forget to mention that in the video, so you guys have to forgive me on that. But that is another excellent way of making sure that it stays down instead of sticking one there, and then hoping they line up. So obviously we stick those two there, and you can tell both the Velcro pieces are there. That's the sticky part there. So we're just going to fold it just like this, and then just stick it down. Not too hard because you don't want it to break the mirror or anything like that. And once you have it stuck down, you can just peel it up just like that. And there you have your duct tape compact. You can obviously take another strip there and stick that down if you want to. That might make it fold a little bit harder, but it's up to you whether you want it to be a little bit open right there. And obviously you have your makeup here, or your eyeshadow, or whatever you want to use. You can open that up, slip it like that, and then you're good to go. So that's pretty much how to make a duct tape makeup compact. If you guys, you can add little spots for brushes on the sides, like little slots you can put brushes in and stuff like that. There's a lot of things you can do with this. You can also put it in mirrors as well. So if you want to make like a bigger mirror, or a circular mirror, you can also do that as well. Because if you make it a circular mirror, you can just exactly make it a square just the same way. Or you can actually make a circular compact as well. So you might want to go the completely different route and make it all a circle. So that's pretty much how to make a duct tape compact, and hopefully give you some ideas on how to make one. Obviously you can make them, for your sisters or for your mothers or whatever you want, or if you want to make one for your girlfriend, you can do that as well. So that's how to make a duct tape makeup compact, and hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and there will be more tutorials coming in the future. Take care, stay tuned, have fun making this.